We're speeding, so in 5, 4, 3.
My name's Arielle Ford, and I have a very unusual story to share. There's a guy named James Van Praagh. Maybe you've heard of him. He's the world's most famous medium. He talks to dead people for a living. And I've been fortunate enough to be friends with him for many, many years. And a little more than a year ago, we got on the phone, we started talking, and he said to me, I've recently moved to San Diego. Why don't you and your husband Brian and your mom come see my new house, and I'll give you a reading with Debbie. Debbie's my sister who lives on the other side, who was also a good friend of James. So of course we weren't going to say no to this incredible offer. I mean, James is so busy teaching and lecturing around the world that he actually doesn't even do private readings anymore. And we went up to his house, we got a tour of his magnificent estate, and then he took us to his office to begin the reading. And Debbie came through really quickly. In fact, she came through lightning fast, and the very first thing she said was, "Arielle, you have to write a prayer book with me." And I said to her, "What, are you kidding? No possible way. I don't want to write my own books, let alone write your books." And she was very insistent. No, you have to write a prayer book with me. And I was like, no, I'm not going to do it. So then we moved on, and James was talking to other dead relatives on the other side. My stepfather, Doc, came through. My husband's parents came through. Debbie was popping in and out with messages for her son, Bo. But every time she came up, it was the same thing. "Arielle, you have to write a prayer book with me." And I was like, "No, Debbie, I'm not writing a prayer book with you." And the reading went on for about 90 minutes, and it was really fun and really interesting, and people we never thought we'd talk to came through. And we were sort of getting to the end. It was obviously time to stop. And Debbie was insistent and persistent, and she's like, "No, you must write a prayer book with me." And finally I just said, "Okay, I don't know how we're going to do this." And I said to James, "I might have to really impose on you to help me. I write lots of books. I don't write prayer books." But I said yes. So on the drive home, we're driving down the freeway, headed home, and Brian says, "I spent so many hours with your sister. Took her to her chemo sessions, her doctor's appointments. We spent tons of time together, and I have this vague memory of her talking about some prayers she wrote. Why don't you get a hold of Julie and see if Julie has copies of any of them?" Now, Julie was her right-hand everything, CEO, COO, master of her life, keeper of all things Debbie. So when I got home, I sent Julie a quick little email that said, "Do you by chance have any copies of any prayers that Debbie ever wrote?" And within seconds, I got an email back that said, "Oh, I can do better than that. Not only do I have copies of the prayers, she wrote an entire manuscript, and I just attached it to this email." So I opened up the PDF, and sure enough, completed, totally edited prayer book called Your Holiness. So I started reading, and it was brilliant. It was beautiful, and I was so confused. I had been her agent since day one. How in the world did she write a book that I never knew about? It was just a total mystery. So after I read it, I picked up the phone to call her editor at Harper, Gideon Weil. And not only is Gideon Debbie's editor, he's my editor, he's James Van Praagh's editor, he's Marianne Williamson's editor, he's done books with Deepak Chopra, and he's part of the family. And I started to mention the word prayer, and as soon as I did, he stopped me, and he said, "Oh, Arielle, I've been feeling so guilty for the last 4 years. Your sister always wanted to write a prayer book, and I always talked her out of it, and I just feel so bad." And I said, "Well, Gideon, you don't have to feel bad anymore. Check your inbox. I just sent you the book." Well, just a couple of days later, they bought the book, and on March 6, 2018, the book is being published. So it's just this amazing, incredible tale. If you never believed in the other side before, maybe you should now, because I would have never known about this book. This book would not be published if it weren't for the talents of James Van Praagh and being able to talk to my dead sister who now lives in heaven.
Divine Heavenly Parent, we ask your blessing upon this meeting today. Dear Spirit friends, come close to me. Spirit friends, speak clear to me. Spirit friends, slow down your voices. When we hear, the heart rejoices. Give us glimpses of eternity and let us know that you are free. Give us names and facts and places. Help us to understand heaven's graces. Send your thoughts upon me with emotion and simplicity as we sit together in peace, love, and harmony. So it is. So right away in the space here, the excitement of Debbie is like, as usual, but really noticed it. It's like running, you know, this energy over here. Two people over here, and we're ready. She's ready.
Okay. Hi, Debbie.
Hi, sister. Yeah.
Oh, good.
Calling her sister. Sister, hi, sister.
Okay, good. So
she's talking about your place you're living. She said, stop worrying about where you're living and changing things up. Stop it, she said. Okay. I'm helping you. Okay, go on.
I got that.
You understand that?
All right. I do understand that. So why now? Why do you want us to bring out your holiness now?
She said, because I'm dead. I'm dead. She said, I did that specifically to reach people after I passed. And I just knew that prayers could always be used. And I'm so happy I did, because now is more important than ever on the earth. She said, I miss all of you, but I don't miss the earth. That's interesting. And she said, I want it for the upliftment of humanity. And all my work that I've done, I feel that was the goal behind it, was to bring people to their best self. And this was my kind of like curtain call thing to do that, leaving them with upliftment in a way that they can use it on a daily basis to bring themselves to that level of upliftment.
So for the people who are here on earth that are going through addiction and recovering or any form of suffering, how would you guide them to use prayer to be happier?
Everybody has those situations in life. That is part of life. I found out about that much later, she said. And she understands from a different perspective now, but it was something that the souls had to go through for their own love of self. And I think that my book of prayers are ways for people to heal by. Heal, recover, get them into the path of self-awareness, come back to self. Prayer is all about love, and it's a love with intention. And I want them to come back to understand who they truly are, and that these substances, the emotional blackmails, things of this nature, she said, they don't need it. They don't need it. But these prayers will help bring them to that awareness, I'm hoping. I think used correctly on a regular basis, they will. Believe me, she's saying, believe me. I'm doing it. It's from my heart. It's heart-to-heart work. It'll touch their hearts. It touched my heart, and I'm sharing that to touch their heart. Same energy, same information. They just got it. She won't stop talking. They got to create a space for themselves to self-heal, self-recover, self-heal. And they have to learn to take responsibility for themselves on all different aspects of their life. And they got to pull your own weight. Pull your own weight. Don't let anyone else force you or influence you. Do it yourself.
So, since you've been on the other side, what have you learned about how prayer works, the power of prayer? Is it God that hears our prayers and answers them? Is it angels? What do you know now that you didn't know before?
A lot, she said. A lot. A lot. And she's cursing now. She's saying profanity is...
Right, as she did.
S blank.
Right.
I wish I knew that shit. While here. I wish I knew it here. Right? Walking, what? We walk from all fours and then to 2 legs, and then we fly away with all that knowledge. Interesting. What? Human beings. Oh my God, she said she's spinning. She goes, I found out so much. She goes, you wouldn't believe it all because it's hard to explain it all. But it's all about life. Life, there's no end of life. Life changes form. Life, new understandings, new ways of thinking of things, new ways of love, different ways of love. Don't get locked into one way of love. It's all different ways of love. I was scared when I came here, but got a lot of help from you, all of you, and those over here. And prayer thoughts are thoughts of love. And these thoughts propel or move us, shake us up to our core. They go to the core of our being. And that's important that everyone understands the core of our being is love. So we need to send love through prayer, thoughts to people. And prayer is very important for people to understand that it's about bringing them back to the core of love. Okay, got that? Understanding, ha ha ha, understanding. She goes, ha 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 ha. She says, it's like being on a different planet. She goes, it's so different here that you wouldn't really fully understand it until it's more of opening. She says it's an opening of our being. It's an opening. It's the truth of our opening. Where in the human world we see only a piece of it, a particle of it. Here you see everything. You see the motivations. You see the reasons behind it. You understand the histories of people, of civilizations, of worlds. And she said, shit. Sorry, I'm just going to go with shit. That Earth, man, that Earth, man, it's hard. It's a hard freaking place to be, she said. It's a hard freaking place to be. She goes, you know, it really is for kind of advanced souls to go there because it's a hard place. There are many places to go, but it's a hard one. She said, all thoughts are, listen, all prayers, right, prayers are thoughts with love, the intention of love behind them. Prayers are unconditional love. And I know that when you say God, just about God, that was my first insights, my first discovery. My first discovery was understanding what God is. And she said, I can only say to you that God is in everything here. Everyone has God, everyone is God, and everything here. All right. Flowers, trees, it's limitless. It's a limitless journey, but it gets lighter and lighter. And you feel the love permeate through everything. More here when there's no something encumbersome. There's no things holding back, no limitations, no walls, no denseness. She said, you celebrate it. You celebrate that love. You celebrate light. You celebrate love and God. James, you realize that you talk more dead people than I do. Ha, ha, ha. She's funny. And she said, you know about this? I said, yes. And she said, we human beings don't understand the concept, kind of this level because it's a different dimension. So she said, you know that the only thing we have, right, common with the earth is love. Love is it, she said. Love is it. So you understand more about love from this side. And God is everything, I found out. God is not a man. God is not that. God is a source. God is a being. God is that. Oh, yeah, all right? She's funny. She's really funny. She said, I got it right. She goes, I got it right. She goes, I got it right. She goes, I was on my spiritual path. I was trying to find myself in all different disciplines, all different roads, but they all led to the same place, and it was God. It was love, pure love. So that's what she's saying.
So now that she has this expanded vision, awareness of love, can she define it?
Can you define love? Right. So she's bringing this big concept, trying to bring it all the way down to my human head and drop it in. So I know the expansion that she's trying to drop. She's looking at you and she's funny. She says, you know the answer to this.
Right, but the world doesn't need my answer. I want her answer.
Right. Okay. She's trying to dissect it for us. And she's going on about there's an emotional love, but there's also the everything love. She said love is really, truly is that connection of oneness to everything. And everybody is love. Everybody's made from love. And you can say light and love, same thing she's going on about. But the humans, the human beings and other places, she's been to other places, by the way, other spaces, like other systems she said she's visited.
Like dimensions?
Dimensions, spaces, planets, star systems. She said she's been around, looking around different places. They gave her tours of all different places of life.
And knowing her, she wants to move.
She said she's writing. She's writing over there too.
Oh
she's
my
writing.
God. Are we going to have to go into service again?
Might have to. Here we go again. But she said she's writing in a different way, but she's writing about interaction with souls. Okay, go on. So she said love is everything. So when you look at things in the human world, the earth, try to find love in everything you look at. So there's love in the ocean, there's love in the rocks, there's love in the trees, there's love in people. They just have forgotten about that love, but it's inside them. And they unfortunately fill themselves with addiction to escape from the truth. Addicted behaviors, illusions, people's way that they think they should follow instead of following their own self. I did it for years, so I'm an expert at it. And she said, I got to tell you, it's simple than that. It is love in everything. It's a feeling. It's who we are. So it's connecting with that truth, connecting with who we are. I'm sure there's more, but that's what I'm getting.
Yeah, yeah.
Do you have a bracelet of hers?
Well, this is her watch.
Okay, she just went with you.
Okay.
And it was
yeah.
gold, so maybe it
Yeah,
was that.
so
But she
wear
just
that.
clipped it on you.
Yeah.
Who
So
has a ring?
I have rings of hers.
Okay. You should have been wearing my ring. You were going to wear it.
I
You decided
wa-
not to.
She's right.
She just said that. You decided not to. I was
She's
watching
such a little
you.
snoop.
I was watching you get ready, and you should have worn that ring. And also, do you have a piece of amethyst that she had? Like a crystal amethyst thing?
I don't think so. Is it better to...
Hold on one second. I'm sorry. Mom, I'm with you in your room. Mom, I'm with you in your room. I'm with you in the room. Are there... I'm not sure I remember the bookshelves in your room or something. She's right there with you. And I love that picture of me in the bookshelf. She's with you in your room. She puts her arms around you. Got to tell that. Okay, go ahead.
Is it better to pray for somebody else or to pray for yourself?
She said it's one and the same.
Oh.
One and the same. We're all connected. One and the same. Uh-huh. Gotcha. Prayer. It's important that you do the work about yourself, she said. It's important through prayer, just not prayer alone, she said. Prayer not alone. Everything. You got to do everything to yourself. You got to look and explore, discover parts of yourself. Oh, interesting. In order for the prayer to fully take place, in order for the prayer to settle down and really work, she's going on about, you got to clean the clutter out. You got to clean the stuff that's holding back from you loving yourself first. Then the prayer can be much more effective once you get through all of those layers of self-imposed fears and limitations. And she said, so if you work on those first, and that's what I was doing. She said, I was trying to get into that stuff, that space. And she said, though it makes its way, but it would work much more much more effective if you clean that stuff out first, so it would have a place to go. So that's important. But when you pray for other people, sending out energy thoughts to other people, it's unconditional love. It's unconditional love. So with yourself, it tends to be conditioned love. It's going to be conditioned love, and with other people, it's unconditional love. And one of the best things you can do there, the earth, is to send out love, unconditional love to people. That's a prayer. Send it, prayer, meditation. Send them that sense of peace to themselves, because they'll discover within themselves, that helps them discover within themselves self-love. And, got it. Okay. Just these concepts I'm trying to get in my head. She's talking about the love will resonate, that prayer resonates in the hearts of people, and it will ripple out to the space, the atmosphere around them. And she said that's what you want to do. That's the reason, the intention behind that prayer, that thought, that love. And that is why. That's what I'm going to tell you. Do you understand that? She said, do you understand?
I get it.
That's what she's screaming. Do you understand? Yeah, we're trying to understand. Thank you. Oh, really? She said, oh, funny. She said, Ariel, I had to go to school over here in order to learn how to do this the right way, in order to learn how to communicate. She said, there's a real technique of learning how to communicate, and I wanted to make sure everything was very precise as I came through. And since I know James, I knew how his mind worked, so it made it a lot easier. But most people really don't have someone like that to come through. So because we were friends, it's much easier. I know how to work with him. So I just want to let you know, I went to it like a school, you'd say, a course, to learn how to communicate and transmit thoughts at a lower level with the full impact and emotional charge that you would understand. It's interesting. Interesting.
Okay, so from her perspective now, Debbie, from your perspective now, what, if anything, would you change or add to the shadow process?
What's the subtitle of that?
The subtitle? No, the course. Her
the
weekend
course.
workship.
Of course.
Yeah, the weekend workshop.
The weekend
Did
workshop
she
process.
learn anything or see anything that would improve it, make it easier, faster for people to transform?
Oh, really? Oh, interesting. She's so funny. She said I'd get myself out of the way.
Her personality.
She said I would get out of the way. It was really about me, she goes on about. She said I made it too much about me. And she said, I don't like that. It's one thing I don't, she regrets something, but I think I made it too much like about me, my stuff. And she said, but I really want people to think for themselves. Taking the fear away, right. So she's telling me that she would change a little bit about self-imposed fears and limitations that people place upon themselves. And I understand that. She continues about the love of the shadow and the love of the light is the same, but they have to embrace the same. And she's talking about got it. So she's talking to me more about souls having this human condition, and she'll put more about the human condition into it, and to learn from that, more about learning from the shadow side, honoring it, embracing it, like she did, but more of that, and realize that it is a tool to help them to go back again to self, to loving self. And she said it does do that. You know it does that. It's all about loving self. And that's just one aspect of who they are, one aspect of who they think they are, what they've been thinking they are. And a lot of that is put in by other people. So they've become programmed. They become programmed by others too. I'm not sure if that's in the shadow process, about other people's energy or.
I don't remember.
She would put a little bit more other people's programs in there and pay attention to your own stuff. And what? You would, okay. Got it. I wouldn't make it as frightful for people to deal with it. I wouldn't make it as confrontational. I want them to embrace that part of themselves and honor themselves. For God's sake, for God's sake, we're all in this together. We can't always get it right. We've got to go there to learn, but you've got to treat each other with respect and love, and that the shadow side is definitely a part of us. I wouldn't make it so negative and positive. I'd make it all come together as one, just different aspects. That's what you're saying.
Gideon wants to know, is there anything you would like to add to the book?
I think he's done a fine job in bringing my voice out. My voice heard. Voice heard. But you know me, I would like extra things. So, I don't know why. She's talking about prayer beads. Prayer beads.
Okay.
She's talking about prayer beads. She would like to have prayer beads there. Some kind of a prayer card, something like this.
Okay.
That's it. But my voice is being heard. I can't thank you enough for doing this for me. Can't thank you enough. It's going to help millions of people. She said, you know that. It's going to help millions of people. And that was my intention. It really gives me, wow. She says that the wind beneath my wings, it's helping me to move on. It's helping me to be, it's helping me helping others. And to do it from this side in this way is unique. And that there are many people here who have been helping behind the scenes for this to happen. And my dear friend James, too, have helped. We all come together at nighttime when we leave our body. We go here and we talk about it, okay? And I'm so happy to see it come out. Thank Gideon and everyone over there for their help and support. We're all behind it.
And all right, last question. So given how much suffering there is in the world, whether people have heart addictions, soft addictions, self-loathing, anxiety, panic attacks, from your perspective, what is it that they're not doing that they could or should be doing to be at peace?
Okay. Not too difficult a question. Kind of expansive question. It's a lot.
Yeah.
Right? Wow.
But
Yeah,
it is
it's a good one.
what everybody wants to know.
She's so funny. She's wearing a white, kind of a robe, kind of like a capey thing, long, it's beautiful, long white pants, like a
flowy, yeah.
Flowy white, I want to say it's kind of silky kind of thing. I don't know if it's the material we have here. And she's like doing this to her head, like this. I don't know if she used to do that, but she's going like this. She's like, oh.
That's her exasperated move.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
And she floats by. Right. Right. Interesting. Okay, I got it. I got the concept. Right. So she's going on about a concept here that there's a string of, let's say it's a string of consciousness. Let's say it's linear time. Let's say it's that. And she said this time that people are living right now, in their specific time, these souls, that's their time. Let's say they're in a box. And in that time, it's just relative to that particular time. And in that time, they've come back to learn about disease, imbalance, fear, love, all those things. That's only specific to that time period, but she said there's been influences from before they've lived. So that's karma. So they brought those conditions. Certain conditions are brought over, whether it's disease, behaviors, personalities, mindsets. She said it all works together to evolve. Okay. What they can do that? James, you know this. Okay, yeah, I know. She's so funny. She's like a little teacher here. Right. Find ways and methods, activities for them to get to love themselves for all remedies. Love themselves for all remedies. Yep. Got it. Got it. Got it. Thank you. Yeah. Right. Got it. Forgive everyone. They have to forgive people in their lives because people are holding on to that, and that creates imbalance and dis-ease in the body.
Because we know our spiritual friends are very judgy.
We're good to go.
Not involved.
Okay.
Okay, go on. Yeah, so she's telling me that forgiveness is a key to helping people to deal with disease and balance, so forth, and judgment. About judgment. Judging others, don't do that. She said, don't do that. It makes you sick. She said, judgment makes you sick. She said, you can't judge others because we're all connected. So you're, oh wow. Judgment, you're creating a condition in the body, she said. You're creating the condition in the body. When you give out that judgment, you're creating it for yourself. Don't judge because, she said, it's negative thinking. I could do a book on judgment, she said. I could do a book, get ready. She said, I could do a book on judgment. That's one of the things I regret. I regret that I was so over, like sometimes I just go for it. And she's regretting that. She said, do you hear me? She's sorry.
Okay.
She said she judged you too, and she didn't mean to. She said,
Oh, okay. Well, I didn't know, so it's cool.
yeah, she feels that just to say that.
Any final words?
Your dad is here. He loves you. She gives you a heart. She's thanking you again. She's kind of crying now. And she's telling me, thanking you. You must have been holding her hands when she was sick, when she was just about to pass, on the side of the bed, holding her hands, and you got her favorite foods, you know that.
Yeah.
And she's thanking you all about that scene. And Mom, she's helping you with your walking. And to tell me that. She said, thank you. I'm going to be there for every part of it, the book.
Oh, great.
And she wants to thank you again for getting it out.
Okay.
The world needs it.
I totally agree. All right.
What? She wants you to get it on a big national show, like a CNN show or something.
Yes, we're working on that.
That's what she really wants. So you're gonna do it over there? She's gonna try to get the people into people's heads to get this going. That's what she said.
Okay. Any final words she wants to give us? Thank you so much.
You're welcome.